It was Christmas Eve, the kind of night when the whole neighborhood seemed wrapped in warm yellow light, with families laughing inside their homes. But for single dad Ethan Miller, the night took an unexpected turn. He had just stepped outside to take out the trash when he noticed something that stopped him cold. A tiny figure, no more than 8 or 9 years old, stood shivering by the curb, her thin sweater torn, her little hands digging through a green trash bin as snowflakes clung to her tangled hair. She was crying. Not the soft kind of crying a child makes when they drop a toy, but the kind of crying that comes from hunger, fear, and loneliness. And that was the moment Ethan's life changed. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Kindness Diaries, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us spread more stories that remind the world how powerful kindness can be. Ethan hadn't planned to be outside long. He wore a heavy winter coat, but he still felt the cold biting his cheeks. The girl, meanwhile, looked like she hadn't felt warm in days. She didn't notice him at first. She was too focused, too desperate, as she dug through a bag filled with takeout boxes and crumpled wrapping paper. "Hey, sweetheart, are you okay?" Ethan asked softly. The girl gasped and stepped back, like a startled deer. She didn't run, but she froze in place. I'm sorry," she whispered, wiping her face with a sleeve full of holes. "I wasn't stealing. I'm just looking for something to eat." Her voice cracked on the last word. Ethan's heart clenched. He was a father to a 6-year-old boy named Noah, and the idea of any child spending Christmas Eve hungry made his chest tighten. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily." "And where are your parents, Lily?" She looked down at the snow. "Mama's sick. She said she'd be okay, but she won't wake up. I tried to get help, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't want to call anyone because they might take me away." Ethan felt a swirl of emotions: fear, concern, disbelief. But above all, he felt protective. No child should ever have to say those words. "Lily," he said gently, "you're safe now. Come with me. We'll figure this out." She hesitated, glancing at his house, warm and glowing behind him. Trust didn't come easily to kids who had learned to survive alone. But the cold was painful, and she was exhausted. She nodded. Inside the house, warmth wrapped around her like a hug. Ethan's son Noah sat on the living room floor, building a Lego tower. When he looked up and saw Lily, his expression changed from curiosity to concern. "Dad, who is she?" Ethan knelt beside his son. "This is Lily. She needs our help tonight." Noah nodded with the earnest seriousness only a child can give. "Do you want to help me build?" he asked her. It was small, but it was kindness. And Lily's shoulders relaxed just a little. Ethan warmed soup on the stove and toasted bread, watching Lily eat like she hadn't had a real meal in days. She thanked him after every bite, quietly, shyly, as if she feared she was taking too much. After dinner, Ethan called the non-emergency police line to report a child in distress. Not because he wanted her taken away, but because he needed help, medical help for her mom and protection for Lily. But when the police checked the address Lily gave them, they discovered her mother had been taken to the hospital earlier that afternoon. A neighbor had heard her collapse and called for help. That meant Lily had been alone, all day. The officer told Ethan that child services would usually step in, but since it was Christmas Eve and Lily was currently safe, she could stay the night with him until morning when a social worker was available. When Ethan hung up, his heart felt heavy. He didn't want Lily to go anywhere she didn't feel loved. Later that night, while Noah slept peacefully, Lily sat on the couch hugging one of Noah's blankets, staring at the Christmas lights. Ethan sat beside her. "You're very brave," he said. She looked up with wet eyes. "I'm not brave. I was just scared. And hungry. Being scared and still trying to take care of yourself, that's bravery." Lily sniffed. Mama always told me Christmas was about miracles. But I didn't think miracles were real. Ethan smiled softly. Sometimes they come in unexpected ways. She leaned against him, small and fragile, but trusting. Something deep inside Ethan stirred, the protective instinct of a father, the kind that doesn't switch off just because the child isn't yours. Morning came quietly, with sunlight reflecting off the snow. The social worker arrived, a gentle-spoken woman named Mrs. Rayburn. Lily clung to Ethan's sleeve, tears pooling at the corners of her eyes. "I'll be right there with you," Ethan told her. "I'm not going anywhere." At the hospital, Lily's mother lay in a small room hooked to monitors, pale but alive. When Lily saw her, she ran forward with a cry that echoed through the hall. "Mama!" Her mother woke at the sound, her eyes filling with tears as she tried to sit up. "Lily, sweetheart." Ethan stepped back to give them space. He didn't want to intrude on their moment, but Lily's hand reached behind her, blindly searching for his. She didn't have to look to know he was there. Mrs. Rayburn explained that Lily's mother had collapsed from severe exhaustion and malnutrition. Life had not been kind to them, missed paychecks, unstable housing, long nights of worry. She had been trying to protect Lily from the truth of how bad things had gotten. Ethan listened, feeling something inside him break. No mother should have to suffer like this. No child should have to dig through trash for food. Lily's mother noticed his expression. "Thank you," she whispered. "For taking care of my baby." Ethan swallowed, his voice thick. "She's a wonderful kid." The mother looked down, guilt clouding her face. "I'm scared they'll take her away." Mrs. Rayburn shook her head gently. "We're here to help. But you'll need support." Support. That word echoed in Ethan's mind long after they left the hospital room. As they drove home, Noah asked from the back seat, "Dad, can Lily stay with us? Just until her mom gets better?" Ethan glanced at the rearview mirror. Lily was asleep, her head resting on Noah's shoulder. Two kids who had only known each other for a night, yet somehow already understood each other in ways adults never could. "We'll see," Ethan said. But deep in his heart, he already knew the answer. Over the next few weeks, Ethan became more than just the man who found Lily on Christmas Eve. He became a steady presence in her life. He helped her mother with meals, groceries, and rides to follow-up appointments. He helped her find programs designed for struggling families, things she never knew existed. Some neighbors pitched in too, once they heard the story. Bags of supplies appeared on the porch. A local church donated winter coats. Noah shared his toys with Lily. And Lily, who once cried while digging through a trash bin in the snow, began to smile again. Ethan never expected to be a hero. He was just a single dad doing his best. But kindness has a way of growing, of spreading from one heart to another, until it becomes something bigger than any of us. One evening, weeks after Christmas, Ethan walked Lily and her mom back to their apartment after a doctor's appointment. Lily ran ahead, turning back to grin at him. "You know," she said, "I think you're our Christmas miracle." Ethan felt something warm bloom in his chest. "I think you were mine," he replied. Lily wrapped her arms around him, hugging him tightly. And in that moment, he knew the truth. Sometimes the people we're meant to help become the people who help us rediscover our own purpose. Sometimes kindness doesn't just change someone else's life. It changes our own. If this story touched your heart, let it be a reminder, kindness is never wasted. One small act, offered on a cold Christmas Eve, can ripple outward and change the future for someone who needs it most. Thank you for watching. And remember, be the reason someone believes there is still good in the world.